Children's rights.
Children's rights are human rights that also recognizes the special needs for care and protection for minors. Minor are those children and young people under the age of 18. Children's right includes the right to health, education, family life, play and recreation, an adequate standard of living, and to be protected from harm and abuse. All children shall be entitled to the right without distinction as to legitimacy or illegitimacy, sex, social status, religion, political antecedents, and other factors. These rights cannot be taken away from children.
It sets out the rights that must be realized for every child. The rights to survival, development, protection, and participation. It offers a vision of the child as an individual and as a member of a family and community, with rights and responsibilities appropriate to his or her age and stage of development. In the Philippines, thousands of children are robbed of their childhood and suffer lifelong developmental challenges as a result of violence. Children are entitled to these rights to protect their more vulnerable position in society and to give their position special attention. Children are neither the property of their parents nor are the helpless objects of charity. They are human beings and are the subject of their own rights. Children's rights covers their developmental and age-appropriate needs that change over time as a child grows up.
Now, let's talk about the importance of the children's rights. It sets out that must be realized for every child the rights to survival, development, protection, and participation. It offers a vision of the children and individual and as a member of a family and community with rights and responsibilities appropriate to his or her age and stage of development. These rights ensure that the child will be protected from unsafe practices, abuse, exploitation, violence, war, or anything else which might put them in danger. These rights ensure that the children have a voice in the decisions that affects them and in their communities. Many of the problems that children face are the consequence of exploitative practices and education gaps in both developed and developing communities. In a protective environment where children's rights are respected, the world's most vulnerable children can flourish and reach their highest potential.
Children in our country face many challenges. In the top of that is poverty. In the Philippines, close to 1 out of every 3 individual lives below the poverty line, while the country itself is full of economic expansion. Poor families frequently suffer from hunger or malnutrition, from which follow numerous health problems, particularly among children who are physically more vulnerable than adults. Health. More than 1 out of every newborn children exhibits deficiency from the moment of birth. Access to healthcare remains difficult in the country's more remote regions. No one takes responsibility for children who suffered from mental health problems. Child labor. More than 10% of Filipino children are compelled to work so that they can support the needs of their family. Close to 1 million youths work as garbage scavengers in the public dumps. Other children find employments in rural sectors such as sugar, rice, or tea plantations.
Now we're going to talk about the most violated rights of a children. Anywhere can witness violence towards children. It can occur at any moment, whether or not there is an emergency at home, at school, in the community, in a place of business, or anywhere else. 80% of Filipino children have suffered violence of some kind at some point in their lives, according to a national study on violence against children from 2016. This encompasses bullying, exploitation, sexual assault, physical and psychological abuse, and online aggression. Violence gravely impairs the physical and psychological health of children, stunts their growth, and violates their right to safety. Poverty is the key element that is connected to the violation of children's rights. numerous issues still exist, including child labor, discrimination, abuse, and child sexual exploitation.
Knowing and being aware of what is right or wrong is important, and that is morality. This will serve as our mediator and the one that will set the limit and will make boundaries to certain things, situations, circumstances, or actions. A lot of children are deprived of the basic needs and the common ones, and this is due to the lack of opportunity, poverty, and many more. This is why most kids are forced to do the stuff that they should not be doing at their early age, and they are left with no choice but to do so. These children should be on the phase of developing skills, discovering and gaining knowledge, being with peers, and enjoying the youth. Spending time with the family, going to school, and not worrying about what meal will be taken next. Children must have and should practice their rights and should not be dealing with stuff that is out of their age and should not be burdened with responsibilities.
An ethical dilemma, also known as ethical paradox or moral dilemma, is a problem that arises in the process of decision making between two possible options, neither of which is completely acceptable from ethical point of view. So, ethical dilemma are problems that are extremely difficult to solve and cannot be solved quickly. So, as a result, the capability to identify the best course of action in a given circumstances is essential for each and every person. The Center for Children's Rights has been held global online consultation with children since 2014. Several foreign partners have been supported this consultation. The scale and atmosphere of the COVID-19 trial help us focus on the ongoing ethical issues related with this technique. Child counselors were aware that they should be asked about all the aspects of their life and work with them to find solution for children. So whereas adult advisors were naturally concerned about the children's safety. To defend the children's right, the children must be able to freely express their thoughts on any matters that affecting them.
Filipinos are known to be naturally family-oriented. With this type of perception, some parents use this to intentionally and unintentionally exploit their children by forcing them into child labor, to be seen as hardworking at an early age, or being responsible, being resilient and reliable at an early age, which is also being romanticized nowadays, when in fact children should just enjoy being a child and not have this responsibility at an early age. Some rights are also neglected because of poverty in the Philippines, such as children's right to education, their right for protection, and most importantly is their right for basic needs. Their right for basic needs are also supposed to be a parent's responsibility. But nowadays, in the Filipino culture, some of them use this as a way to imprint in a children's mind that they owe them their life because they give them their basic needs.